White's just come a little bit too far. He snookered himself on that red, but it was a very good pot. As Ken said, they're quite tricky, those, but needed to drop it in with slightly less pace to leave that red to the left of the black. Couldn't have played it much softer, really. He's just looking obviously at a safety shot. There's a couple of possible pots, but they're very difficult. He has got a line to get a good safety here. Just trying to pick out exactly where he'd like to leave it. Played with a little trace of left hand side just to swing the cue ball over. Played it well. What about that for judgment? You can't get much closer to the cushion than that.
Yes, excellent shot from Neil, and the path is covering the reds down the left hand side of the table. Can't lay on this top cushion, of course, because of the red just left of the black, so a bit of spot of butter here. He may be forced into having a go at this. I'm not quite sure whether, well, maybe you can get the edge of one of these reds. It's very tough though. Well, he's played it very well. It's an excellent return. Okay, the red's gone over the pocket, but it's not easy for Neil. It's the best you could have done from there. He made that look very, very easy.
He does pot them from all sorts of angles, this Australian.
It's such a good cute, isn't he, Dennis? Is very straight. You saw his head staying very still on the shot as well.
From Melbourne. You're a lovely lady. Was she Melbourne? What part of Australia?
Yeah, Melbourne, yeah. The first tournament there this year. For a long time, well, he's on the...
You know, you were talking about such a lovely cueist, and he just quit completely on the shot. You never see that very often from Neil.
Commentator's curse.
You feel silly when you do that. I mean, he's having the cue ball clean, but it wasn't a kick that caused that. He just didn't commit. He stopped with a follow-through. I can, Tom, take advantage.
Bit like a golfer leaving a putt short, isn't it?
One.
Well, this is his fourth chance attempt to win this frame already for Tom Ford. So far he's only amassed 16 points, so well, we won't have a better chance than this. Already he's struggling a little bit with the pace of the table. Wanted to be on that blue just nicely. He's overran it by 6 or 8 inches.
You'll have to go red, blue, and then try and get on that red that's to the left of the black. Once again, the black's hampered into one pocket. As long as he gets the right angle here on the blue.
8.
He's got a couple of reds to play on, but the one to the right of the pink. But if he could drop on the one that's to the left of the black. It's got the perfect angle on the blue, so it's just a matter of making his mind up as to which red he plays for. And he's even possibly thinking about playing the cannon onto the 2 to the left of the pink, but you know, that can go wrong. Yeah, that'll do nicely. That helps the situation,
30.
removing this one.
$14.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Ken, just a slightly bit too far again, just getting used to the pace of the table in this opening frame. And he took his eye off the pot there and
40.
overcut the blue, but that was all caused by not getting on the blue as he intended. And that's, as you mentioned, his third chance, fourth chance in this frame.
Yeah. 1. $6. $7.
Well, he's okay, but he's a left-hander, so it just makes the red that he's going to leave slightly awkward. If it's a right-handed play, just roll the blue and this a comfortable red into the left corner. It's really the only one he can play for, but he's gone far enough so that he doesn't have to stretch with the left hand. And imperative he gets a good angle
12.
now on the black when potting this to try and bring the two reds into play. Key shot to the match. If you can just flick the left of the two reds, it'll be absolutely perfect.
Well, if this pink goes, Dennis, which I think it is,
Oh,
it
it
makes life a hell of a lot easier for him.
Absolutely.
I think both reds go into this left-hand corner pocket, and great chance now.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for them to be better.
19. $20.
I may try and leave the white low on this red, so I can go up for a ball colour or blue. There you see it. Yeah, nice angle. Just takes a bit of pressure off. You know the white is going up the table rather than staying for the black, so try and hold for the yellow. Oh, well, has that gone in? It just straightened up a little bit, as you saw.
28.
He got a slight kick on that. When he hit it, he was up off the shot immediately. He thought he missed it. Just have a look at that. Straighten up.
I've seen one earlier with John Higgins, and he thought he'd missed the shot, but that red seemed to just curl slightly towards the pocket, and the kick didn't affect it quite as much as Neil thought it was going to do there. But you mentioned getting up for one of the colours. It was imperative that he got nicely on the black with the green being off its spot. 19 ahead.
33.
Just needs a yellow and green.
$35. $38.
So a fairly quiet opening frame here. Tom Ford,
42.
well, he's had, as we mentioned, 4 chances and didn't capitalise on them.
47.
But he has taken these well, as the Australian.
53.
That's a very nice
60 in the
start from
first
the
frame.
Australian.
Neil Robertson.
Can't do better than pot all the remaining balls. A nice break of 60 gives him a 1-0 advantage. Always nice to watch, isn't he, Neil Robertson, Ken? I just like the way he walks around the table, and I mean, he's a devastating potter, and there's something about a left-hander that looks good to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, he's one of the new breed, world champion. 2010, of course. Magnificent championship for him. And he's one of the top players now. And when he's on song, as you say, he's got such a beautiful cue action. Very straight, very still on the shot. And on his day, he can beat anybody. And it's always nice to see someone come from a different part of the world and do very, very well over here. He fell off the tour once, and came back and got back on the tour, and then rose to prominence. Nice lad as well.
Yeah, it's a big thing coming from the other end of the world. I mean, Eddie Charlton had made something like 120 trips from Australia to the UK and carried the flag for Australia for many years. It's now this young blonde-haired Australian who's
Neil Robertson to break.
about to break off in the second frame. Just doing a little bit of gardening there. Well, it's not a bad break-off shot. He's left a tempter for Tom Ford. He could take this red on for the left corner and get himself onto the black, but he'd have to get it just right. He's just looking to see what he might possibly leave here. There's no easy path back up the table. So if it's one of those situations, why not put everything into the pot and try and drop on the black? Okay, he could double this red back up the table a little bit. He might even leave that one along the cushion. So I think you would probably have a go at this, Ken. And
Well, he could play it in such a way, couldn't he? If he leaves the white somewhere level with the black, or in line with the black, he wouldn't be leaving anything on. That would be very, very easy. So it's definitely worth a go. As long as the white doesn't come up and leaves Neil the red just directly above the black. That's the one he's sort of worried about.
yeah, the natural potting angle, if he pots this red, he'd come out towards the circle. So if he misjudged it, he could leave a pot on, but it was all a bit too risky. And as long as that red keeps on running, it won't cut into the middle pocket. And I suppose overall, not a bad choice of shot.
It's amazing how the psychology changes, isn't it? Hadn't Tom Ford won that first frame, no doubt he would have had a go at that red. Yeah, Tom Ford just coming around, just making sure that there's no possible red that's going to go over the right hand corner pocket. You're always quite wary when you play shots like this. Just got to make sure where the object ball is going. That's a good shot. Excellent.
He's going to need a thin contact here if he's going to play it back down the table. So he's got to judge this one correctly, otherwise he could cannon into the other red. A little thin snick needed. and a little thin snick got. Well, that's not a bad result. And the cannon on the brown has helped. It's a straightforward 3-ball plant there again. I'm surprised you didn't spot that one.
One of John Virgo's trick shots, that. Again. A bit short the pace, and he's struggling a little bit with the cue ball.
Trying to think where he played the cue ball there, because if he comes further up the table, okay, maybe the red to the left corner pocket, but he left it a little bit in no man's land. He might have just underhit it completely. I think he was trying to get up the table another, what, 2 to 3 feet?
Yeah, I mean, the red he should have been playing on was the one directly above the black, but if he was, he's underhit that by quite some margin.
Quiet with that bag of crisps, please.
Brendan Morris just told somebody to be quiet with a bag of crisps, and there's a woman passing it over to her husband. They're waiting.
She's having a little giggle about it as well.
There she is.
At least she could do is share them, couldn't she?
The phantom crisp eater. Oh, that's... Oh, I thought he'd left the red, but look where the white's finished.
One.
Not straightforward just yet. The red near the blues put it slightly out of commission, certainly for the middle pockets. The pink, I'm not sure if it goes in the left corner. It might do. Oh, he's not cueing well at the moment. Tom hasn't settled at all. That was very poor effort there. He really cued that one very badly. I think at the moment he's just trying a little bit too hard. It's
one.
Yeah, he's got through to the round 1 on 3 occasions. The other 6 times he lost in the qualifiers, and sometimes you can go out there and just try that little bit too hard. I don't know if you've played against Tom. We don't see that much of him, Ken. But all these PTC events, he's climbing up the world rankings. He's obviously a very, very capable player.
Yes, he is, and he's been doing quite well in them. He won his first PTC only last year, beating Jack Lazowski 4-0 in the final. And he's one of those type of players in the PTC that he's been having a lot of success, winning a lot of matches. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult when you're out there on the TV. It's more open, a lot more people, pace of the table a lot quicker, and there's also that added pressure when TV cameras around. It's always imperative, I feel, particularly for the qualifiers, to get off to a good start, settle in early against, particularly when you're playing a top player like Neil Robertson or any of the other guys. They have lots of experience at this level now. He must get off to a good start. At the moment, he's struggling a little bit.
10.
Of course, with it being the best of 11 in the earlier stages of this year's UK Championship, goes to the 2 sessions from the quarter-final onwards. As you say, it's nice to get off to a good start, and it looks as if the former world champions, well, he certainly got the better start of the 2 players.
$17. $18. $25. $26. $33.
Yeah, we see that red does go just below the pink in the middle of the 3 reds there. He also has the straightforward red as well, but still a little bit of work to do.
34. $41. $42.
And that green's slightly awkward. It's blocking the path into the left corner, although those 3 reds that are near the pink are all covering each other anyway, so he needs a bit of a cannon here. That'll do nicely. It's freed 1 for the right corner, which in turn has freed 1 to the left corner.
49.
Just a gentle little nudge was all that was needed there.
Yeah, just because he hit the red, so suddenly he's just run away a little bit with the cue ball, but still should be okay. And it was a good putt.
50.
Green to follow.
$53. 54.
50 points ahead, so Black will put him 57 ahead with 59 on the table, so that red closest to the pink. taking the pink here, knowing full well that the pink doesn't respot. There you see it, 56 ahead, so this red will give Neil Robertson 2 frames to nil lead.
61.
Might as well try and make the century break now as Tom looks on. See if he can develop the 2 reds that are close together near the cushion there. Well, he's played to leave the one in the middle pocket, then get on the black, and then cannon the 2 reds.
66.
Could have done it from the blue there, but it's immaterial now. The frame's well and truly over. But always nice if you can make a century early on. And I think he might be a bit too straight on this. He might really have to power this in to make the angle. No problem with the power, just the judgment.
It's amazing how he found that gap, isn't it? Look at that.
74.
Well, he could have played that 100 times and not found that gap.
Nice selection of colours there. A yellow, a green, 2 blues, a pink and 6 blacks.
Well, the red didn't go in, doesn't make the century break, but he won't be worried about that. It's Neil Robertson now who goes into it, 2 frames to nil lead.
Yeah, he hasn't settled yet, Tom. He's, if anything at the moment, you can tell he's just trying a little bit too hard. There's a couple of easy shots that he missed that sort of sap your confidence. This was one here. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward green. And the red, not too much to do with the cue. Just off straight, trying to stun over for the red, but didn't deliver the cue. You can see that little bit of movement and cut across it. And oh, it's the sort of thing a professional player hates, isn't it, Ken?
Yes, Dennis, you could see the cue just dipping slightly before he made contact with it and just threw the cue ball completely offline. What we call is coming across the shot. So, important times now for Tom Ford.
The 3rd frame. Tom Ford to break.
Break will come up after 4 frames, the mid-session interval, that is. Even though it's the best of 11, still play the traditional 4 frames. And you never really settle till you get a frame on the board, and at the moment it's all the Australian. And if he starts knocking those in,
1.
you know you're in big trouble. Great pot, but pink and black tied up, so... But he is devastating at that type of shot. I won't say it, Ken, because I know you don't like it. The best single ball potter, or one of the best in the game.
Don't know what it means. Black obviously doesn't go. So
6.
Trying to get up the right side of the blue. There is a possibility the red to the right of the pink, you could take that one. No. He wants to be high on this blue.
7.
That's pretty good. Now we might see another example of his superb cue power here. Just have a look at the white. I'm just going to try and smash this pink full in the face when potting the blue here. Red's everywhere. And that's not too bad, is it?
It wasn't the way he intended. He played to hit the pink full ball. Have another look at it.
12.
He hit it quarter ball, but there was that much power and spin on it. He sent them all over the place. But the pink away up near the brown, black totally out of commission now. It'll have to be, oh, he's gone too far. I was going to say the yellow. He might even have gone too far for the yellow. Is he just okay? Because the green's awkward to get back up to the reds. I think he can just get to the yellow. Yeah, that picture shows you that there's plenty of room past the pink.
Yellow ball.
Not the best angle on this red for the middle pocket to get onto the blue. So he's having to work hard for these. He's going to have to leave, as you can see, a long blue. So he just under screwed that last shot, or under paced it slightly.
16.
Yes, and these are the type of shots that a lot of the professionals would play and practice. Knocking blues off the spot into all four corner pockets. These are the type of shots give you a lot of confidence as well. Already seen him knock a couple of good long balls in. Have a look at that. Straight down the middle. No problem.
$21.
Yeah, it looks so easy, doesn't it? But it's a lot of hard work and a lot of years of practice go into being able to play them quite as comfortable as that. And what's the side here?
22.
Just to take him the correct side of the blue. Perfectly played. Just a little touch aside there.
$27. $28.
Yeah, and on that occasion just didn't get enough side spin. He's going to have to manoeuvre the cue ball in and out of balk. Never easy to judge. That's a fantastic shot. It's a little bit short of pace though.
33.
Yes, may not even attempt the pot there. There is a red that pots into the left hand corner pocket, but there's no value because you can't get on a colour, so just a safety.
Neil Robertson, 33.
Nice shot. And there you see an example of experience from Neil Robertson there, keeping the pressure on Tom Ford. Got a nice lead.
Yeah, there is an escape here. He could hit reds, but I wouldn't mind playing that shot there off the side cushion because he's not going to leave anything in the right corner. He's looking to see if he can hit one to get back down the table, but that is a pretty comfortable escape there. He hasn't even looked at that option at the moment. He can get through to the one between the pink and blue. That's pretty good.
Yes, Neil looking to see where he's putting the cue ball, somewhere up around the green pocket, because the brown and pink will certainly block the path to the red over the left centre. It's a good shot.
It's just gone a little bit scrappy this frame, but you can't do much about that. It's just the way the balls pan out sometimes. Tom could do with a chance in amongst the balls, you know, where he can knock a few in just to get his confidence up and running.
He's in a bit of a predicament here. He can't drop the cue ball onto the top cushion because two reds are potable into the left-hand corner pocket, and that's where he's just coming around to have a look at. Maybe forced into having a go at this.
Foul. Here, Robertson, 7.
Well, a bit of bad news and a slight bit of good news is that he hasn't left a sitter after he missed the pot. He thought he would leave something very easy for Neil Robertson. There is a red to the middle pocket, and if it goes in, then the chance is there, but he could quite easily have left it much simpler for Neil. Should be able to hold for the blue. The pink's available if he can't do that.
One.
Well, it just depends if he can roll this blue and leave the angle to drop the red into the same pocket that he's taking the blue, but he may be a little bit straightish on the blue to achieve that. So he could have played that one a little better. Well, he couldn't do that, so it's the one to the right of the black. And the black only
6.
available into one corner pocket, so he's got to negotiate the two reds that are to the left of the black, or find a gap if he doesn't play for the black and wants to get to the blue again. He's just got to be a little bit careful. He could pot this and find the gap between the reds and the black and get back up for the blue. Which is what he's played, and if he's gone too far, as I mentioned before, the pink was available.
$30. $14. $60. $17.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable out there. Okay, he's been capitalising on Tom Ford's mistakes, but he's made breaks of 60, 74, and there's a few more to come here. And he's up at 97% with the pot success rate. That's very high indeed. Didn't quite get into that one though. Long way short of where he wanted the cue ball. And he only needs one more red. It should have been easier than this. Seemed to stun that more than screw it. Being a left-hander, he needs that extension to reach this. But not a great deal of pressure on it, even though there's a lot of cue there between his bridge hand and the cue ball. And just enough to cause him to miss that pot. Where's that cue ball going?
Neil Robertson, 20.
So he's got a 60-point lead with a possible 67 on the table. Just show you that miss again, a bit thick. But Tom at the moment can't get near the pocket. He needs something easier just to settle him down. He looks a bit concerned there, doesn't he? I mean, he'll have put a lot of practice into this. They say his qualifying round to get here, he won 6-0. And now he can't get a chance, or an easy chance. He's had a few chances, but can't settle.
Well, I'm not quite sure what it is. Red squeezes past these. Well, that one certainly doesn't. The one just above the black. He's coming to have a look at the one to the left of the black. And they go into this bottom right hand corner pocket. Looks pretty tight. Well, it does go, but you could play it in such a way that you can try and get the cue ball up into the jaws of the yellow pocket. It looks pretty good. You knew the brown and also the blue would be covering the corner pocket there, and he played that pretty well. And Tom will attempt to play the same type of shot. He knows he's now knocking the red over the corner pocket, but will he get the cover?
I don't think he's got the cover unless the other reds come to his rescue. He only needs one red. It has come to his rescue. That's not the straightforward plant to knock one onto the other. And with the balls as they're situated, he's got to get this plant, otherwise Tom still has a chance. No problem.
One.
Just a possible 59 as we show you that replay of the plant.
Six.
Yeah, the last couple of frames, Tom's only managed to score 4 points. And he's had a few chances early on, but not that many in the last couple of frames.
$30. $14.
Yes, and if we got back to that first frame, Dennis, he had 4 chances, Tom Ford. Certainly get his cue arm going and get a little bit of confidence. And sometimes when you don't take your chances, it sort of unnerves you a little bit. And we're seeing the effects of it these last couple of frames.
$28. $29.
Well, there'll be one more frame after this before the mid-session interval. And Tom Ford badly needs that, even though it's the best of 11. 4-0 behind against a
36.
potting machine like Neil Robertson. would be a tall order.
$39. $43. $48. $54.
Well, we had an earlier break of 33. The Australian finishes it in fine style with that clearance of 61. And he extends his lead. It's now 3-0 to Neil Robertson. Big frame coming up for Tom Ford. The next one, Ken. He can't afford to lose this fourth frame. It would be a mountain to climb against Neil Robertson, and somehow he needs to get himself a chance. So I suggest maybe a couple of good safeties to try and force an error.
Yeah, it's also, you know, a couple of easy pots starting off would certainly help, you know. But as I said, he did have 4 chances in the first frame, had a couple of chances in the second, but he just doesn't seem at ease with himself at the moment. It's always hard when you come here after qualifying. He spent a lot of time in the qualifying over the last few years. It's always hard when you come and play TV against a top player as well. I think Neil Robertson's had a lot of success. Big match, big expectation, big chance. You either rise to it or sometimes you just
Thank you, frame 4.
A little while to settle down. So Neil Robertson breaks off in this fourth frame. Big frame for Tom Ford here. I must say it's nice to be back in the Barbican again, isn't it, Dennis? Been away the last couple of years. Been down in Telford, which was very successful as well. There's something special about this Barbican in York here.
The reason they moved it, Ken, they were going to knock the place down and rebuild. I don't know whether it was flats or something, but it's still here. And as you said, great to be back, because nice time of the year to be in York coming up to Christmas. Great atmosphere around the place. And on the opening day, the crowds have been very good. Needs that red to pull up or keep running, one or the other. It's pulled up, but a little shake of the head tells you the red shouldn't have been anywhere near that pocket. He just misjudged that. And if he can get himself onto a colour here, he could soon get up to the red next to the black. And get up to the business end of the table, as we call it. He might even be able to get up near that red, or certainly there's another red he could get on anyway, but in a couple of shots time he could find himself on the black if he plays a good positional shot here.
Yes, he already had a little look before he took that red over the green pocket. As we look, see, would it pass the black? This shot will certainly tell us whether it does or not. A bit short of pace.
5.
Yeah, he needed a slightly better angle, didn't he? Because he couldn't have hit that any harder, and he still hasn't got up to where he intended. It'll still cut this. He keeps missing his pocket there with the chalk. It must. I think it's a new suit. It's quite a smart. Not the old traditional black. It's a slight grey colour. And a nice. Yeah, very elegant Australian. As indeed was Eddie Charlton. Was always immaculate. Steady Eddie.
Nice shot. manoeuvre the cue ball in between those two reds. Now try and get on the red just above the black. Certainly open things up. No, that's a poor shot. He hasn't played too many of them, to be fair.
11.
Such a margin for error there. Just wanted to miss that red. Bounce off the top cushion and back up for the red, just below the pack of reds there. So just a safety and the break.
Yeah, he still took the pot on. It's a good pot, but he's come up a bit short again. He's having to work really hard, and he might be able to take the green on, but I don't see a red available. If he rolls the green in, comes back across the table past the blue, there's only one possible red in the middle of that bunch that would go. So maybe just a safety here. He's going to have a look at it, because if he pots this and he judges the cue ball, there is one red in the middle of the bunch that will go. And he's on that red, but he's close to the cushion, but he could open a few more reds when potting this
50.
and get himself onto the black. Might even spring the pink out a little bit. He just can't
60.
get himself into the ideal position. That's why he's smiling to himself. This is a bit like a Perry Mons break. Perry, that's from South Africa, was another great left-handed potter who kept losing the cue ball and getting out of position and kept knocking them in.
Yes, he played a couple of good shots off the cushion already. Certainly that red above the black, I didn't think it was potable from our position here in the commentary box, but he's kept the break going. He's going to need another good pot here. It's good cueing, isn't it?
$23.
Now does this red go by the blue up into the top corner pocket? Just coming around to have a look. Certainly goes into the left centre, but a little bit more difficult.
Another wry smile, cracking pot, but look where he's got the cue ball on the cushion again. He'll finish up nearly as good as John Parrott. John never misses when he's on the cushion, and of course every time we say that, Willie Thorne says, well, bad position players shouldn't be on the cushion.
They don't call him Cushy Parrot for nothing, you know.
31.
Tell you what, this is a 31 break.
It's the best 31 break you'll ever see. And another good pot required here.